Okay, so sleep.
Yeah.
We spend like a third of our lives doing it.
It's true.
But like, how often do we actually stop and think about what's going on when we're out?
Right.
It's like we clock out for a full 8 hours.
Yeah.
But instead of reports and emails, our brains are doing something completely different.
Totally. And a lot more active than people realize, too.
Really?
Yeah, you picture it like hitting the off switch.
Right, just total shutdown.
Exactly, but it's not like that at all.
So not a coma then?
Nope.
I was looking at the Wikipedia article on sleep earlier, and it defines it as like reduced activity, altered consciousness.
Yeah.
But it still mentions these active brain patterns.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there's definitely more to it.
It's more like your brain's switching gears, shifting into this whole other mode.
Interesting.
With its own like tasks and processes. And within that active state, the brain cycles through these different phases. Primarily REM and non-REM. Each of those has its own distinct characteristics too.
See, that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
It's like there's this secret world unfolding every night.
I know, right?
And we only get these like vague glimpses through our dreams.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, we should totally get into later.
Definitely.
But first, I got to know more about these sleep phases.
Okay, sure.
What makes them so different?
Well, you've got non-REM sleep first.
Okay.
Which is actually 3 stages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and each one's deeper than the last. And that's where your body really gets to work on physical restoration, like cell regeneration, muscle repair.
So that's the like body's nightly tune-up.
Exactly.
You wouldn't expect a car to run well without ever getting maintenance.
That's a good way to put it.
We need downtime too.
Absolutely. And during those deep sleep stages, that's when some really interesting stuff starts happening hormonally.
Like what?
For one, your body increases its growth hormone production.
Which is essential
for growth and repair, like the name suggests.
Right, of course.
And this is super important for, say, athletes.
Makes sense.
Or anyone recovering from an injury, because it helps rebuild that muscle tissue.
Okay, so that's why sleep is so important for athletes.
Huge.
It's not just about feeling rested. It's like giving your body time to literally rebuild itself.
Exactly. And it's not just growth hormone either.
No?
Prolactin also sees a boost during deep sleep.
What does that do?
It plays a big role in regulating your immune system.
Oh, wow.
Which is why sleep is so crucial to a healthy immune system.
So, like, if I'm feeling like a cold coming on, getting a good night's sleep could actually help fight it off.
Exactly.
It's like giving your immune system backup.
I like that, yeah.
That's cool.
And another reason all this restorative work happens so well during sleep is because of what's going on with your brain's energy use.
Okay.
During the day, your brain uses a ton of energy, about 20% of your body's total.
Wow, really? That much?
Oh, yeah, it's like running a marathon all day.
Wow.
But during sleep, especially non-REM, your brain's energy demands go way down.
Interesting.
That frees up all these resources for repair and restoration.
It's like your body finally has the energy for those less urgent, but equally important tasks.
Exactly.
It's like our bodies know how to relax and recharge way better than we do.
It's true, and there's actually a way scientists can see all this happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called an electroencephalogram, or EEG.
What is that? Like a brain scan or something?
Kind of, yeah. It measures the electrical activity in your brain.
Okay.
And from that, you can see all these different brainwave patterns that happen during sleep.
So, like, it's not just one constant thing going on.
Nope, different rhythms for different stages.
Oh, okay. So what kind of rhythms are we talking about?
Well, during deep sleep, you've got these slow rolling waves called delta waves.
Delta waves, okay.
Those are characteristic of those earlier non-REM stages we talked about.
Right, right.
It's like your brain's lullaby. Ah, cute.
Slowing everything down to create the perfect conditions for restoration.
Like tucking your body in for the night.
Exactly.
I love that.
Then as you transition into lighter sleep, you start seeing theta waves.
Which are?
A bit faster than delta waves.
Okay.
And then as you get even closer to waking up, you see alpha waves.
What are those?
Those are the ones associated with relaxation, like that drowsy, about to drift off feeling.
Okay, so it's like this gradual shift from slow and steady to more relaxed as our brains wake up.
That's a good way to put it.
But what about REM sleep?
Right.
You said that one's different.
Yeah, REM is super interesting.
How so?
Because it's almost like your brain briefly wakes back up while your body's still asleep.
What? How does that even work?
That's the thing. During REM,
yeah,
brain activity actually increases.
Right.
Yeah, and it starts looking like the patterns you see when someone's awake.
So that's why they call it rapid eye movement sleep.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And it's also when most dreaming happens.
Oh, right, of course.
So that explains why they can feel so vivid sometimes.
Like your brain's making mini-movies.
It really does.
Wow.
But here's the weird part.
Okay.
Even though your brain's super active during REM,
yeah,
your muscles are basically paralyzed.
They are.
Totally.
Why? What's the point of that?
Well, scientists think it's a protective mechanism.
Well, that makes sense.
So you don't act out your dreams and hurt yourself.
Good point.
Could you imagine if people just acted out whatever was happening in their dreams?
That would be chaotic. Total chaos!
Wow. It's crazy how our brains are doing all that while our bodies are totally still.
It really is remarkable.
It makes you wonder what else our bodies are capable of.
Right.
Like, how does it even know to do all this in the first place?
Well, it all comes down to our internal circadian clock.
Oh, yeah, our body's internal timekeeper.
Exactly.
I've definitely noticed I tend to feel tired and awake at the same times each day.
Absolutely. Light plays a huge role in that.
It does.
Yeah, it helps regulate our circadian rhythm.
Which basically means... Sorry, go on.
It's our body's way of syncing up with the 24-hour day-night cycle.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that rhythm is super important, not just for sleep either.
What else does it affect?
Ton of stuff.
Right.
Everything from hormone release to body temperature to metabolism.
Wow, no kidding.
It even impacts how well you think.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's like a conductor making sure everything runs smoothly.
So if it gets out of whack, it can really mess things up.
Exactly. And one of the biggest culprits these days is artificial light at night.
Makes sense, especially blue light, right?
You got it.
I swear, if I look at my phone before bed, I'm up forever.
It's so true.
It's like my brain thinks it's still daytime or something.
That's exactly what's happening.
Right.
That blue light suppresses melatonin production.
Which is?
The hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep.
Oh, right.
So even dim light at night can mess with your circadian rhythm.
Huh. I had no idea it was that sensitive.
It is. And then it becomes harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
So we're basically fighting against our own biology by using all these gadgets at night.
Pretty much. Our bodies haven't quite caught up to our modern lifestyles.
I guess that makes sense. We evolved with the natural rhythms of day and night.
Exactly.
And now we're surrounded by artificial light all the time.
24/7.
Crazy to think about.
It is, but there are things we can do to help.
Like what?
Sticking to a consistent sleep schedule is huge.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Dimming the lights in the evening.
Right.
Avoiding screens before bed.
All the things they tell you to do.
Exactly. They really do help, though.
It's just hard sometimes.
I know, but it's worth it for a good night's sleep.
Definitely.
Your body will thank you.
Speaking of a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
How much do we actually need?
That's the million-dollar question.
Is there like a magic number of hours we should all be shooting for?
Well, the CDC puts out those general guidelines.
Right.
Recommending something like 7 to 9 hours for adults.
Yeah, 7 to 9, that's the sweet spot I always hear.
Yeah, but it's not really one size fits all, you know?
Really? I guess it makes sense.
Everyone's different.
Okay, so what else plays into it?
Age is a big one.
Okay.
Genetics.
Huh, interesting.
Even like how active you are can make a difference.
So someone training for a marathon would need more sleep than someone with a desk job.
Exactly.
Fascinating.
And it's not even just about the quantity, it's the quality too.
Right, like how deeply you're sleeping, all that.
Exactly. Remember those deep sleep stages?
Yeah, the ones where your body's doing all the repair work.
Those are key for feeling refreshed, and everyone's needs are different there.
So how do I even know if I'm getting enough of that deep sleep?
Honestly, best way is to just pay attention to how you feel during the day. If you're constantly drained, can't focus, relying on caffeine all the time.
Oh, that's me.
Could be signs you're not getting enough deep sleep, or it's getting fragmented throughout the night.
Huh, interesting. So it's like our bodies tell us if something's off.
Exactly. Those feelings are important signals.
Makes sense. But this is kind of blowing my mind.
What's that?
I was reading that sometimes we're totally off about how much sleep we think we got.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Perception of sleep can be pretty inaccurate.
It's like our brains are editing the experience or something, only showing us the highlights.
Kind of, yeah. But speaking of highlights.
Oh, right. Dreams.
Exactly.
We talked about all the physical benefits of sleep.
Yeah.
But what about the mental stuff?
Totally. And dreams are such a fascinating aspect. So bizarre.
They really are. And they mostly happen during REM sleep. Right?
Right. And while we don't know their exact purpose for sure.
Yeah, it's still a mystery.
It's like a window into how our minds work.
I've always thought of it as our brains working through stuff, you know?
What do you mean?
like emotions, memories, even fears, but in this safe space.
That's one theory, and there's research suggesting different sleep stages help consolidate different types of memories, too. Yeah. Deep sleep seems crucial for declarative memory, those facts and events we can actually recall.
Okay, so like if I'm memorizing lines for a play, I need deep sleep.
Exactly.
What about REM then?
That seems more connected to procedural memory, things like skills and habits.
So if I'm learning a dance routine, I need good REM sleep.
It seems that way, yeah.
Wow, it's amazing how it all works together.
It really is. Sleep is so much more complex than we give it credit for.
Totally. It's like our brains are multitasking even when we're out cold.
In a way, they are, but unfortunately, not everyone gets to experience these benefits in the same way.
Right, because of sleep disorders.
Exactly.
Which are way more common than I realized before all this.
They really are, and they can have a huge impact on people's lives.
Yeah, I bet, like insomnia.
Exactly. Insomnia is the most common one. Millions of people deal with it.
Right.
And it leads to so many issues. Constant fatigue, trouble concentrating, mood swings, the works.
It makes you realize how much we take sleep for granted when it's working properly.
For sure. And insomnia is not the only one. There's sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome.
So many different things that can disrupt sleep.
And each one comes with its own set of challenges.
That's true.
But hey, even just talking about all this makes you appreciate how incredible sleep really is, right?
It really does.
We covered so much.
From brain waves to deep sleep to dreams, it's wild.
It all goes back to this carefully orchestrated process, though.
It makes you wonder how we ever figured any of this out.
I know, right? But the more we learn, the more we realize how important it is to respect our body's natural rhythm.
Circadian rhythm, all that.
Exactly. That's essential for good sleep, which then impacts every other aspect of our health and well-being.
It's all connected.
It really is. And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that sleep isn't a luxury.
Okay.
It's a necessity.
True. Just like eating or breathing.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to be thinking about all this next time we're drifting off.
Me too.
It's like our brains are about to go on this amazing journey every single night.
A nightly odyssey.
I like that. I'm stealing that.
Go for it.
Well, on that note, sweet dreams, everybody.
Sweet dreams.